Okay, so the pickle making process, the ingredients we start with, you're going to use 2 tablespoons of salt. We make pickling salt. I use kosher salt, it's fine. You're going to have to make some ice, and so I use these little glass bowls. That just makes it easier for me, but it doesn't really matter. 1 or 2 or 3, however many you want, of cloves of garlic. I'm going to do 1, I think, this time. I'm going to try using this thing to hold the dill in. You'll see that in a minute. So there's dill. And the cucumbers, Herbies, are the right kind. Just got those, and I'll show you what we're going to do. One thing that I have always done is use water from the tap, but what I do is I fill up a bunch of it. You're going to need at least a quart, at least 4 cups, but I do more than that, just have extra, and leave it out for a day, 24 hours. That gets everything out of it. That's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is use distilled water. And a jar to put the stuff in it. I think in this case I might actually make 2. So the ingredients are 2 cups of boiled water with 2 tablespoons of salt mixed in until it's dissolved. Then you stop boiling it, and then you add 2 cups of frozen water to cool it off, and you pour that into the jar that has the dill, the cucumbers, the dill, the garlic, and you should also probably put a little bit of a jalapeno or a hot pepper, which I don't have right now. Give it a little bit of a snap. That's the basic recipe anyway. Of course, you can do whatever you want. So those are the steps. I'm going to show you them here as we go. Okay, then I chop up the garlic. This is going to be probably 2 jars worth, and that's how much liquid you make to do this. Enough to make 2 quarts like that. So I sliced up the garlic and made 2 piles, and I made 2 piles of dill. I'm going to try. I only have 1 of these. I'm going to try this time to use this to put the dill in for 1 of them. The only reason why is because the dill makes kind of a little bit of a mess in there. It gets on the pickles and stuff, so I thought maybe if I did it this way, it wouldn't be so much. So I'm going to try doing this for 1 of them because I only have 1. And this is just a little coffee filter thing. You know, I think a tea holder would probably be good. Try that and see if it makes it if it still gets dill enough. I don't know. So that's going to be a 1. And then for prepping, really all you need to do is put the stuff in it. It takes up maybe too much room for, but we'll see, whatever. So I'm going to show you here. I just dump the dill in and the garlic in. In case you didn't see that from the angle. That one has that, that has that. Right. And so the salt there. The other thing I do to prep is I just rinsed off the cucumbers. I don't know if you noticed in the bag, but they had a lot of dirt on them. I rinsed them off in the sink, and then I soak them in the water that's either been aged overnight or distilled water, and soak them for at least an hour to get the little dirt and stuff off of there. Meantime, I also filled up those little glasses with, in this case I'm using distilled water, and so I don't have to wait, but I'm just freezing them in there. And after, the next thing I'll show, we'll take the cucumbers out and we chop off one end of them, and then just put them in the jars. That's next. Okay, now we start prepping the cucumbers. They've been soaking for more than an hour, and all we need to do is chop the ends off. The end you want to chop off is the end that have not the stem, but the flower. It's usually a little browner on that side than this side. So you cut that piece off. And I won't have to show you all of these, but basically I'm just doing this, snipping that, and then I can just put them in the jars to get ready after that. So at this point, then I've packed up 1 of the jars of pickles, just showing you that. All I do is just sort of cram them in as much as I can, and then the last couple pieces I chop into pieces to get even more in there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this jar. Just start stacking them in there, basically. And put this on the side. I think you can see what I'm doing there. Yeah. This is probably an area I need some help. I don't know if I'm doing the most efficient, probably not most efficient packing you can do. I'm going to get as many of them in there as I can. Oh, one thing I forgot, an ingredient I forgot to mention is cardamom seeds, which I'm not 100% sure why, but every single thing that I've pickled, I do that, and that's what they say to do. So I'm going to chop up one or two more and get in there, and I'm going to sprinkle some cardamom seeds in there. When I say cardamom, I mean coriander. That's what you're using, is coriander. So I'm just going to sprinkle some just into the jar there. Put it in this jar. I think that helps encourage the right kind of bacteria, but maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, it's in all the recipes. Okay, so next I'm going to boil 2 cups of water. And you can see that I have the ice things, the bowls of ice now. I'm just putting them near there because I want them to warm up a little bit so I can pop the ice out. But anyway, there's already a little switch. So this is what I do, is I just put it back in the measuring cup. And then when the water's boiling and salty, I pour it over the ice to melt it and turn it into a big thing of salty water. Okay, then water is boiling now, 2 cups. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons of salt in there. You use kosher salt, you can use pickling salt. And just mix up until it's dissolved. And okay, so it's all dissolved. I turn that off. And just as soon as it stops boiling, then I'll start pouring. I don't want it to shatter that, and I'll just let it stop boiling. Okay, so salty water, brine. There, just pour it over this. And then I stir this up a little bit because I don't really want ice in there either. The water itself is already pretty cold, so the exact amount I don't think matters because I tend to end up with a little bit extra ice like this. So I'll just take it out. Okay, then you're just pouring it over the pickles now, the cucumbers in the jar. You want to cover up everything. And I'll do this jar too. I think I should have enough. And the key is to keep everything underwater, so that little guy might be a little close to the top. And to make sure it stays underwater, because these things will loosen up a bit and float. They make stones you can use to weight these things, and I'm ordering some, but so far I'm just using like a glass that'll fit in there. Oops. One reason maybe do it inside a Tupperware, so that, because you'll see, I'll show you later, it's going to bubble over the next couple of days and bubble over a bit. We do that, and then we wait. Just to keep them in the water, and that's it for now. Okay, so this is 2 days into it. You can see the colors starting to change a little bit, and there's bubbles under there. I showed you in person some of the bubbles and what we did. So just every day or every other day, you should clean that stuff out a little bit and just keep making sure that everything is underwater. So really, if you just pull out some of those bubbles, you really don't want to lose the liquid. But I end up losing a little bit of liquid when I do this. So what I do is save a bit of the salty water. I've had a little bit extra and just kind of keep trying to top it off. Also, though, I just got these pickling stones. Instead of using that glass, I should be able to put this. See how it works. There. So that actually would stay under. I think that's the way to do it, so that then the liquid surface is on top of that, and then you can scrape out those bubbles a little bit easier. Although now I just ran out of liquid, I'm gonna have to make some more. Yeah, that's a concern when the stuff sticks out over the top. That's not good. So I'm gonna try to put a little distilled water in here too. Push these guys back down. And Put the weight on there. That's good. I just think I need a little more liquid in there. So I'm going to try to top it off. But so this looks, that covered up is good. That covered up is not so good because I don't know if you can see that edge is sticking out a little bit of the cucumber. All right. Okay, this is the fourth day. You can see there's some stuff on there. This is basically about the time I finish it. You can do it a little bit less, a little bit more. You should try it, taste them, see what you like best. I'm going to scrape off this remaining stuff. And the right thing to do is probably taste one of them before we actually bottle up, and I'll do that here. I find that if I leave it a day or two in the fridge, it actually ends up tasting a little bit better, but you can tell if it's bad at least. You taste it right away. All right, so I took out the stones, and I put a little bit more distilled water to top them off. Tasted one, it's pretty good. I do like them with a little bit more aging in the fridge, and so I'm just going to put the caps on now and put them in the fridge, and then that's it. I think tomorrow they'll be starting to be really tasty, and after a few days they're just right. So this is the fourth day, and I think it really takes about a total of like a week maybe to make them the way I like to taste them. Okay, so they're done. I mean, I rinsed off the outside of the jar also to get that nasty stuff off, and they're sitting in the fridge with the caps on and everything. You can see it's still got a little bit of air. That's okay. It doesn't have to be airtight now. And each day I'll taste them, and in the next couple of days they're going to be really good. All right.